Hi there. So in this video, I'm going to talk about the svelte component, and what I mean by that is svelte component, this guy right here, and rather than that, I could just do like that. And so what this does is let you dynamically create a component. So here it's saying it must have a this attribute, and by dynamic, I mean that you can have a variable right here and it can change, and that'll change what this component actually is. So this component could be a square, a circle, or a flower, just depending on what you put right here. So let's say I put square. Well, that looks the same. So let's say I put flower. Oops, need the brackets. So I put flower right there, and then I'll get a flower. So you might think, why would I need this? Why wouldn't I just put just write flower like this? You know, usually, yeah, that would make more sense. But what you can do is have some kind of, so up in here script, you could do like let current thing equal circle, like that. And then right here, you would put current thing, or like current component, or how I've used it in the past is like current page. So maybe you would have like these page components right here, and sometimes the page would change, and that would change this. So then what you would do is have some kind of function, maybe called change thing, like that, and you would pass it the name of the thing, and then set this current thing to that thing. And to do that, you would need to have a dictionary const things equals, and then you can type in square, circle, and flower. And what that will let you do is when you pass in this thing, you can set current thing equals things at thing like this. And then if I have here a button like this, and then on click equals, what did I call it? Change thing. Change thing, and then I can pass a string rather than the actual component. So like circle. So it's starting as circle. Let's say it starts as square, and let me get rid of this flower so you can see. So right now it's a square, and then it's going to change the thing to a circle like that. So it's passing in the circle, and this right here is the same as doing like this, as if this were a string. So it maps to the actual component. So it maps from a string to the actual component. You know, this is questionably useful. Maybe you would just pass the component, but this would be useful if, for example, you had another component here, like maybe the button was a component, and then you would have to pass down this function, and then you would just pass a string rather than importing the component into your button and passing the component. You could just pass a string. I hope that made sense. A simpler option, which I might have maybe should have just done from the start, is have an input of type equals text, and then you could bind the value to current thing. I guess this you would also need this things dictionary. So I'm binding it to current thing, and then here in this, rather than having current thing, because this is binding to a text, a string, you'd have to do things at current thing, because current thing will be the string, and then that will map to the component, whatever this actual component. Okay, so now I have this, what is going on? Class square extends. Okay, you'll see it's actually taking in like the component as a class. So let's see. So current thing, yeah, so rather than setting it to the actual component, it's going to just be a string like that, square. And then this is mapping it from the string to this component. Okay, so just to reiterate, this here needs to be the actual component, and it can't be a string. And by having this dictionary or this object, it is letting you map from a string to the component. So that this, for example, which is just a string, will be interpreted as the square component. So now I can type in whatever I want, circle, and it'll be this svelte component will be a circle, or I can type in flower and it'll be a flower. So that's what this does. And that is all. Goodbye.